everyone, and welcome to Sportsballin. I'm Dylan Simmons, joined by my co-host Evan Snyder and TJ Warner. Let's find the truth like Agent Mulder and Scully as we get right into the action. The Memphis Grizzlies were dry as the Saharan desert in Game 1 against the Los Angeles Lakers. King James and AD combined for 43 points, but the big story was Rui Hachimura, I think I said that right, with 29, which led the team. With one game down, is Memphis in trouble, TJ?
I think they are, because if you think about it, I really don't think Anthony Davis and LeBron James really controlled this game. I think it was two other players. I think it was Rui Hachimura.
That's how you say it. Sorry.
And Austin Reeves, because if you look at Austin Reeves in that fourth quarter, man, he had 14 points in the fourth quarter alone. And in the final 4 or 5 minutes, he was their go-to guy in isolation. Like, he was the one dotting up Memphis. Without John Morant, too, now in Game 2, pretty much for certain, I think Memphis is going to be – they're definitely going to be losing home court advantage. They lost Game 1 already. They more than likely are going to have to win Game 2 to stay alive in this series.
No, definitely, and it's a little shocker because Memphis this entire season has been a really good team at home. They have been miserable for the most part on the road. So definitely, if you're going into LA, which can sometimes be a pretty hectic playoff environment across any sport. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this potentially could be very bad for the Memphis Grizzlies, and just this game as well. They just looked flat. Yep. I mean, towards the beginning of the game, they're a little hot, but the second half, they just didn't look like the same Memphis Grizzlies. And Ja leaving the game with a hand injury, and
that definitely affected the game.
That definitely affected too, and he's not entirely ruled out for Game 2, but it is very likely he will not play.
Yep.
And I mean, AD for the Lakers as well, he also had an injury as well with his shoulder, but he came back and played and finished it out, so that looks like not affecting him at all. And Austin Reeves as well. He really controlled the Lakers offense towards the back. Yeah, he is him. And like TJ mentioned.
That's what LeBron James said too.
Exactly. LeBron was literally just playing off the ball and was just there for him for a dump pass basically and let Austin Reeves just do his thing, which he definitely did, and he was cooking.
And Rui hit 5 threes tonight too, so that's another thing to point out too.
Yeah, I mean, he absolutely crushed them overall. And I will say this for Memphis, I think the prime performers, because Desmond Bane had 22, but Ja only had 18 on the night. So when you look at that aspect, those performers didn't get as many points as they could have. And as you mentioned, I think Memphis just kind of looked flat. And the biggest alarm that I saw was that defense. They got scorched all night long. And you got to think as well, guys, Los Angeles, they came in as one of the hottest teams in the league. And they're coming out looking exactly the same way that they came in. And I think Memphis, they've kind of coasted through the playoffs so far. They know what they're able to do. And as for Los Angeles, it's been kind of do or die mode for them for a while now. True. That gives them extra motivation, in my opinion.
And the thing is, too, with the Grizzlies, I mean, we've talked about it multiple times throughout the season, throughout the show and past episodes. They're a team that everybody needs to do their job and needs to really step up. I mean, you also look at Jaren Jackson Jr. dropped 31 points, but that still was enough to get the job done because, of course, Ja left the game early and, you know, nobody else really contributed that much. And also, Jaren Jackson Jr. did win Defensive Player of the Year, so big shout out to him. He was really the only really flash in the pan for the Grizzlies so far in Game 1.
Yeah, and if you really look at the way Grizzlies were playing defense in this situation, they were forcing someone else besides LeBron or AD to kind of create shots and make those big-time shots. They forced Rui to take all 6 of those threes. He just somehow hit five of the 6. I mean, that's who they were forcing to shoot the ball, and he just showed up that night. Do I think that's going to keep going? I don't know in this series, but I think the Lakers will eventually win the series, though.
I think that they're definitely on the fast track. Memphis better be careful or things are going to go haywire in a hurry. I want to apologize to Rui for not getting your name right, but I'll remember it after this series, I bet. All right, so I've been waiting on this for a long time. Evan and I and TJ have all been waiting for it. TJ Warner, you've got something special to share with us today, so tell the world what it is.
So we have a new segment, and it's called Turn Me Up TJ with TJ Warner. Oh, man, I'm excited for this one. Pretty much it's going to be a top 5 plays of the week, sports ball edition, and let's get right into the action. Number 5, we got it. We got Chris Paul makes the sweet pass through the legs of Zubac to Torrey Craig. I mean, just look at that. Gets the rebound, off balance, falling out of bounds. Through the legs of a 7-footer.
Like that, man?
And then right through the legs, Torrey Craig finishes it with a nice lay. Chris Paul, flashy assist.
Look at his
flashy
reaction.
Assist.
Like, where's the ball?
Turn me up, Chris. I like it. I like it a lot. Let's go on to number 4. Number 4, guys, we're throwing it to a different league. XFL. We haven't talked about XFL on the show yet. We're going to throw it Bryson Algene takes the snap directly to the crib. Oh. Superman pose, dives over 2 defenders. Hey, we have a Houston Roughnecks fan behind the scenes here. I think she's loving seeing this one.
Hey, shout out Lane. 100% I could do that though. Put me in pads.
But that's not the best part. That backflip right there. The celebration. The celebration on that one. Turn me up, Bryson. That was awesome. Let's move on to number 3 though. XFL, proud of you for that. We have Nathan McKinnon here. Splits the 2 defenders of the Preds and goes left, goes right, goes back left and lays it in. Oh my gosh, what a nice goal by Nathan McKinnon. Oh, on your lovely Predators, Evan.
If hockey had an ankle breaker, that would be it.
Colorado Avalanche end up winning this one pretty easily. Turn me up, Nathan. What a play. What a play on Evan's Preds. Let's go. Number 2, we have Ja'Cour Pearson catches it, makes one guy miss. Nope, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, we gone.
And he's off to the races.
He's gone.
You think he's going to finish?
My God.
He's gone.
Oh, guess what? He goes all the way.
Touchdown.
Ja'Cour Pearson all the way. Seattle Dragons XFL touchdown.
Hey, shout out Seattle Sea Dragons.
Look at all the guys he makes miss there.
It's like a video game.
How does he get to the outside on that and then finish it? How do you have the speed and endurance
on the
to finish that play?
afterburners.
Oh my gosh, gets to a foot race, he's gone. You're not touching him.
No.
Turn me up, Ja'Cour.
Also, great
I'm proud of
throw.
you for that one. That was awesome. Now, this is the best play. Number 1, we have Chase Jans makes diving play and gets a double play out of it. Look at that.
Oh.
He covers so much ground to get the double play, and he
got
not
him.
only does that,
Oh, no.
he throws him out
Coached
at
him.
third. Look at this angle.
Look at that
Diving
stretch.
play by Chase.
Plastic Man, anyone?
And throws an absolute dart to
That's
third base.
That's
what
also
a
some,
tag.
dude. That's some good awareness too, especially coming out of a dive. Like
Exactly.
To just throw it
That
on
could
the
be hard.
hop like that. Look at that.
A foul ball and gets the guy off it too. And that's how the inning ends. Turn me up, Kansas Baseball. Turn me up, Chase. I mean,
That was a really
that's
good play.
awesome. I mean, hey, but that's our top 5 plays of the week. That's Turn Me Up, TJ, for the week. How do you guys think about that?
That was
good.
Some fantastic television.
First segment of the year.
That was some good plays.
We got some good top 5 plays too.
I
No,
mean,
definitely,
those were fantastic top 5 plays. I think, as Matt Vesjerzian would say, Santa Maria. Those were some awesome plays. When we come back, we will talk all about the Preds, who couldn't be as awesome as the Miz, but still delivered some memorable plays this past weekend. We will also discuss Nashville SC's bad night in the Big Apple. That's all coming up next on Sportsballin. Stick around.
To pose, now shush. She makes the sound she makes to calm me down. She makes the sound she makes needy. She makes the sound she makes needy. Baby, don't see.
I'm here. Can you see me? 'Cause I feel like I'm invisible. Like this whole place is invisible. If it weren't for the nightly news, no one would even think of this place. But down here, things look different. Down here, our spirits are bright and our dreams are vivid. And if given a chance, that's what the world would see.
In the past 50 years, we've made a lot of progress in smoking prevention. But if we don't do more, 1 out of every 13 children alive today will die early from smoking. That's 5.6 million precious lives we can save. Together, we can make the next generation tobacco-free.
Well, guys, Nashville SC did not fare well in New York City as they got lit up like the Rockefeller Christmas tree against New York City FC. Nashville gave up 2 early goals to Keaton Parks and Maxime Chanot within the first 25 minutes, and it was a deficit that they could not crawl out of. A Henny Mukhtar goal in the 81st minute would prove too little too late as NYC won 2-1. After beating them earlier in the season, why couldn't Nashville get the job done here?
I think it's pretty fair. It's just the early defensive scheme. It's just like it's not showing up to the game right away. It's just letting 2 goals happen in the first 25 minutes is super unacceptable.
You're not going to win many games.
You're not going to win. No. You're not going to win any games probably in the MLS doing this. But Nashville SC, I mean, they started out pretty good this year. We had high hopes for them, and then when you put up a performance like this and just like lackluster, lazy defense in the first couple of minutes, man, that's not something as a fan of the team you really love to see. But if they can clean it up and just have defense, I feel like they're going to control most of these games they play.
I mean, Nashville's defense the past 2 games haven't been too bad. They've actually been pretty solid, but they played NYSFC earlier this year, the first couple games of the season. And I just think New York was able just to find the holes in Nashville's defense and in their scheme because they run 4 defensive backs with Walker Zimmerman leading that front, and they were just able to get a lot of pressure on the defense, and Nashville didn't have any answer. And then you also look at the offensive side of the ball for Nashville and see some of these shots. They're taking shots from outside the box, about 30 feet away, which is something. I mean, sure, you're trying to put pressure on the goaltender, trying to make him force a play, make a play on the ball, but when you have this amount of ball possession, you got to be a lot smarter with it. And sure, Henny Mukhtar did score a goal in the 81st minute, but like you said, Dylan, it was just a little too late.
Yeah, it was too little too late, and I think Nashville SC didn't really get the passes and the separation that they needed in this game. And, you know, of course, Haney had the goal, but again, like you said, too little too late. They didn't have enough time, and I think sometimes you go into rematches with the other team having an opportunity to see the weaknesses that they had in the first game, and you're trying, because you already have the game won beforehand, so you're kind of trying to keep that up, and you get too comfortable in your current position, and it ends up hurting you later. I think for them this was as poor of a match as Aaron and Andy from The Office, so it just did not work out for them in the end, and they're going to have to clean this up or things are going to go from bad to worse, but we'll see how it works out for them. So the Nashville Predators regular season ended with a cold thud here in their game at the hands of the Colorado Avalanche. Nashville fought hard with one of the league's best teams, but they were ultimately outmatched by a Nathan MacKinnon hat trick that even Wayne Gretzky would envy. Nashville ended their dream of making the postseason and finished with a 42-32-8 record. Evan, is this a tougher loss to swallow than past defeats this season? You good there, man?
No, I'm not. My silence basically sums up this entire season for the Predators. You go from making the playoffs the past 9 years, and in 2017 making a run at the Stanley Cup playoffs, to having a positive record and still not making the playoffs by 10 points. 10 points!
10 points.
And, I mean, sure, we're playing the Avs. The Avs are one of the best teams in the Western Conference right now. They might make a push towards the Stanley Cup. We did, answer back, losing 4-3. But it's just this whole season. You mentioned drop dead. It's deader than a catfish being thrown on the ice. Like, it is awful. Fire John Hines. We're already losing our general manager, which is a great thing.
Great start.
Great start.
Keep it up.
Now, please, Preds ownership, please bring in somebody who can right this ship. If you don't, I'm going to back being a Tampa Bay Lightning fan.
Oh, we don't want that. You don't want to go to Tampa Bay, trust me. Listen, Nathan MacKinnon would make a great dairy farmer because he turned the entire Preds defense into Swiss cheese. It was awful. We already saw it on Turn Me Up TJ, what he did. And the Preds defense, again, they just didn't, it just wasn't good.
Sucked.
The injuries were bad, of course. They didn't have Duchesne and Stone, but this was a lost season and a lost cause, and I feel bad. But please, gosh, let this be the end of the John Hines era. Please, Preds ownership, please. Let's hope it is for our own sakes. All right, so that hot start that Nashville was off to melted away like the Wicked Witch of the West. So when we come back, we're going to give you something that is always smoking with our hot takes of the week. So you better not go anywhere. Stay tuned.
America. Welcome home the brave. The brave men and women who serve their country are coming home. Home to their cities and towns. Home to their mountains and valleys. Home to their families and friends. Home to America. Some of these warriors are coming home with wounds you can see, and some with wounds you can't see, like post-traumatic stress disorder. Wounded Warrior Project was created to provide the support these wounded veterans need to ensure their return to America is well-adjusted and successful. But we need your help to ensure that our mission is a success. Help us honor and empower these wounded warriors. Contact us at findwwp.org. America, welcome home the brave.
You can't buy a best friend. You can love them, pet them, care for them, whether they want you to or not. You can take a picture or 50. You can bring them with you wherever you go. You can jump, yell, hide and go seek, play dress up, or not. Go for a walk, or not. You can fly to the moon, travel the world, or just stay in bed. You can't buy a best friend like that. But you can adopt one. 'Cause we're connected. We're connected.
Order up. We've got our hot takes of the week right off the grill. TJ, what is your dish this week?
My dish this week, or my hot take of the week, is the Lakers will go to the conference finals in the Western Conference. And I'm going to tell you why they're going to do that. With Ja Morant out, I think that completely changes the Memphis series. I think the Lakers will win in 6 games now. I can really see that.
6?
If they've proved they can win at Memphis, and Rui can prove that he can shoot the ball like that, and Austin Reeves has proven that he can make plays and create plays off the bounce and off the dribble, that is going to cause problems for Memphis. And with Ja not for sure on his status, I think that just makes it even more likely that the Lakers win that series. But now they're going to go on and play either the Kings or the Warriors. Right now the Kings are up 1-0, but they very well could play the Warriors in that series in the next round.
Could see that.
I think if they play the Warriors, AD is a complete mismatch for the Golden State Warriors. But if they play the Kings, I think they have too much firepower and shooting to deal with. I don't think the Kings can match that. I know Kings have the #1 offense in the league right now. I just don't think at this moment that they're going to match it with the Lakers.
No, I definitely have to agree with TJ. I mean, with Ja potentially being out for game 2 and maybe even game 3, depending on the severity of his hand injury, that could be a huge wrench in the Memphis Grizzlies and their whole system and everything. Because again, sure, we've talked about it multiple times. They're a team where everybody has to contribute, but Ja Morant is one of those main contributors to the Grizzlies.
They're a system kind of team.
And then you look at the potential matchup for the Lakers and either the Kings or the Warriors. I mean, the Kings only beat the Warriors by, I believe, 1 or 2 points in game 1. So
That's
either
true.
way, going into this one for the Lakers, I think if you get past the Grizzlies, you have an easy walk to the Western Conference Finals, but I don't think they make it to the NBA Finals. I think the Suns possibly take that spot from them.
Well, I'm going to reflect a sentiment that a lot of people say. How's this going to affect LeBron's legacy?
Oh
All right, I
God.
kid. All right, so here's why I don't think that this is going to work out, because I actually do think the Lakers are going to win this first series. In fact, I'm going to go Lakers in 5. I think they're going to really take the Grizzlies to task, because I did not like what I saw
Houston
in
in the
Memphis.
back, our director. That's not like him.
he's not
here.
like
Houston,
that
I'm
either.
sorry. I'm sorry, but I just think the Lakers are a big mismatch here. But I do think that the Warriors or the Kings are a more complete team. And trust me, as a Celtics fan, I know how dangerous the Warriors can be. I would not want to meet them, especially if Steph, if Clay, if a lot of other players get hot at the right time. Could be dangerous. But Evan, what's your hot take?
All right. Basically, for the 4th week in a row, throwing into some motorsports, and this time IndyCar. And my hot take is Roman Grosjean will win a IndyCar race this season. They just finished up the Grand Prix of Long Beach, where he did place 2nd. He actually had some really good qualifying. He's had some really good pace throughout this year so far in the Andretti Motorsport cars in general. All 4 of them have looked very, very solid compared to last year. And already, Roman has a pole. He has a top 5, and he has a top 10, and of course the podium in Long Beach.
Yeah.
And you know, he was maybe about, believe it was 2 seconds back from Kirkwood, who won the race. And he looked really, really good. He's also looking really, really good on the oval tracks as well. He wasn't doing too bad in Texas, but unfortunately, if I remember correctly, he did crash out of that race. And I think honestly,
right, yeah.
if Roman can keep that up, keep the pace that he's at the moment, and again, these Andretti Motorsport cars are really, really fast at the moment. So
yes.
I think he can definitely get done if he can stay away from incidents, any car trouble, anything like that, and just keep the consistency that he has. Roman will definitely be at the top of that podium sometime before the season ends.
I could see that happening, but here's the thing with Romain and a lot of these drivers who go from F1 to IndyCar, that's a big transition, and he has proved himself to be successful so far, but going from one motorsport to another is not an easy thing to do. I mean, I'm a Jimmy Johnson fan. I know when he went to IndyCar,
he didn't do hot. He did not do hot at all.
Bad. It was bad, okay? So it's a very tough thing to accomplish. You have to have consistency. You have to have the right strategy. You have to have the right crew around you, and sometimes you just have to have pure luck.
True.
I mean, motorsports in many ways is a sport of luck. And Romain is going to have to rely on a lot of factors to go his way to win a race, especially in IndyCar. I do think he's going to have to get it done at a road course. I think
honestly,
tracks,
I think he gets done at an oval. I mean, at Texas,
so?
he looked really good on Texas, and he's already said multiple times that he loves oval tracks. He absolutely loves racing on them. Sure, it took him a year to kind of adjust to him and get used to him, but he said he absolutely loves it. He loved racing at Iowa. He said he loved racing at Texas. And again, he has that Formula One experience, which I know
he does.
Formula One, IndyCar, they're two different beasts, two different types of cars. But I think, honestly, for any Formula One driver that's coming over to IndyCar, you give them a year in that car, and they'll be fine after that. And I think Roman gets it done.
I could see it potentially in the future, still to be determined. But I'm going to go straight into my hot take, guys, and that is that Anthony Richardson will be the biggest NFL draft bust since Jamarcus Russell. And I am bringing this up because the draft is coming up soon, and I wanted to speak about this because I have no idea where this Anthony Richardson hype came from. I mean, no offense to the guy.
He played pretty good.
I mean, look at these highlights. Look at this. Just look at some of these throws. Look at those poor fans. Do you want that as your quarterback? This team, Florida, went 6-6. All right. They were not there. I mean, look at what is that?
You said highlights. These are low lights.
It is low lights.
No, yeah, these are low lights.
You picked these on purpose.
Listen, I'm just trying to demonstrate why he can't throw as well as others think. He had a few good days at the combine. He's got a strong arm. That was the same thing they were saying about Jamarcus Russell.
People blew up because he hit the ceiling in his pro day. Like, that's not something to like brag about. Like, just
exactly.
Yeah.
You can have all the power in the world, but if you don't have accuracy, then it's not going to work out for you. And listen, I don't care how good you are. If 6-6 is the best that you can do, you're not that great, in my opinion.
If you're in
no
TSU
offense to the
football.
guy. That's what I think.
I think you can't really say that until you know what team he goes to. Because I say, per se, if he goes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I think that gives him time to develop, and he's going to be around a good receiver core, and he's going to be around a really elite head coach too, and then he can maybe transition to a good player. He's just a really raw talent right now. I think if he just throw him into the Houston Texans at 2 right here, yeah, he's a complete bust in 2 years easily.
Yeah,
but you got to look at too, the biggest bust since Jamarcus Russell. I mean, I can name Blake Bortles. Who's that now?
He made the AFC Championship game,
Look at Johnny Manziel. Where did he do at Cleveland?
Okay, Johnny, fair enough.
John Ross, he was the fastest guy in NFL, and he did nothing because of his speed.
You want to talk about a bust? A guy that ran a 4.240 and then did nothing after that.
Yeah. I mean,
the only thing that's kind of hot about this is, did Jamarcus Russell take him being a bigger bust than him? There's been a lot of other busts, but I think though, I have to agree to disagree. I think if he gets with the right system, he gets with the right team, you give him a couple years to develop, really focus on his accuracy and definitely more reading coverage and zone coverage and man coverage and all that, he will turn into a pretty solid quarterback. Not saying he'll be the best quarterback in the NFL, but he definitely will be.
He could be a top 32 quarterback.
Yeah, he could be
a starter
for a starting job somewhere on a lower to mid-tier team. And I mean, true, this quarterback class for this year is a little stacked with C.J. Stroud and a couple of those other guys as well. Bryce Young and a couple other guys. If he gets in the right system, Anthony Richardson, I think he has the potential to become a really good quarterback.
I dare the Carolina Panthers to take him #1 overall. Do it. I want to see
Everybody
it happen.
knows C.J. Stroud.
Could you imagine?
That'd be terrible. That'd be the worst NFL draft.
No, yeah, that would.
But I would laugh.
Since the Anthony Bennett NBA era, that would be the worst one.
I would laugh, and it would be amazing.
It would be awful.
No offense, guys. I think Richardson's career could end up like Joey and Rachel, as a couple they were weird and they were not working from the start. So when we come back, it's time to put on our thinking caps. We'll have our picks of the week when we come back right here on Sportsballin.
To pose, now shush. She makes the sound she makes to calm me down. Oh. She makes the sound she makes me. She makes the sound she makes knee deep in the sea.
I'm here. Can you see me? 'Cause I feel like I'm invisible. Like this whole place is invisible. If it weren't for the nightly news, no one would even think of this place. But down here, things look different. Down here, our spirits are bright and our dreams are vivid. And if given a chance, that's what the world would see.
In the past 50 years, we've made a lot of progress in smoking prevention. But if we don't do more, 1 out of every 13 children alive today will die early from smoking. That's 5.6 million precious lives we can save. Together, we can make the next generation tobacco-free.
Welcome back to Sportsballin. It's now time for our picks of the week, so let's get rolling here. Nashville Sounds versus Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. That's a fun name. Tuesday at 6:05. TJ.
I like the Jumbo Shrimp just because of the name. Give me the
Jumbo Shrimp.
Same, give me the scrimp.
The script. I'm going to take the Nashville Sounds. I like what they've been doing. They've been picking up some dramatic wins this year, guys. I've seen a couple walk-offs, really good stuff. I think they've got that clutch factor, like what they're doing. LA Lakers at Memphis Grizzlies Wednesday at 6:30. Game number 3, guys.
Hey, I think the Lakers are going to win this game. I have them over the Grizzlies. Without Jaw's status, really, I don't think Jaren Jackson will be able to carry them.
As a wise man once said, turn me up, Lakers. I'm taking the Lakers on this one.
Well, I will say this. I think the Lakers have a dumb name because there's no lakes in Los Angeles, but they're just the better team at the end of the day. They're going to beat Memphis. Grizzlies have a lot of injuries. Last up, Nashville SC versus LAFC Saturday at 7:30.
Nashville FC. That's enough said.
They're the defending champs of LA.
I think Nashville SC gets it done. All right, so time to pull reverse Ben Simmons and shoot the final shot. Make sure to catch all the action here on Blue Raider Television with Sportsballin every single week. For Evan Snyder, TJ Warner, I'm Dylan Simmons saying so long, and guys, have an electric night.